Hey everyone, Anthony Gerbi with another edition of Thursday Thoughts. Welcome. And 'tis the season for home improvement. Yes, it's summer and I've been getting many calls about home improvements, talking about the financing of them, talking about how to make it happen. And I've got 3 tips for all of you that you should at least consider. And number 1 is maybe the obvious, and a lot of you will know the answer to this immediately. Who should do your home improvement? Now, I'm not talking about which firms or contractors I might recommend. I'm talking about whether you do it or whether you hire somebody. I think there's a lot of pride sometimes with doing it yourself, but then there can also be a lot of underestimation about how much time it's going to suck up for you to complete a project, a home improvement project especially. So don't feel bad about hiring somebody. Don't feel like you're, not handy. I certainly can't hang sheetrock or do a lot of handy things, and I look to hire people, so don't feel bad about that. I try to tell people that. 2, the question I get the most is, how should I pay for it, right? Whether I'm hiring it or I'm doing it myself, how should I get the funds together to make this project happen? And obviously, if you've got assets, that's one way you could do it. But I encourage everybody to not be afraid of financing, or at least asking about financing. Go to a bank, see what their terms are. One thing that gets really overlooked is that local cities, counties, or even the state have financing available a lot of times for home improvement projects. Hennepin County does, for example. Go to those sources and you often get really good rates or really preferable payback terms. So don't neglect that option. And number 3, and this is the question that never gets asked, but I often bring up, which is, should you do it in the first place? All right, and I'm not saying your home doesn't need the improvement or that you don't want to do it. You obviously do. That's why you're thinking about it. But I often get people coming to me with this scenario. Hey, there's a project I really want to do. I think it's way overdue. And I can justify it to you, Anthony, because when we sell the house, we'll get the value back out of it for this project. And what I always say is, the first reason you said is the reason to do it, not the second one. Do it because you want to, because it'll make your life better, because you'll enjoy the house more, or you'll fix the problem that's been nagging you. Don't do it for the resale value, okay? And I say that because you never know who's going to walk in and buy your house one day, if you're even going to sell it. And that person who walks in and says, I love this house, might love it for all the reasons you don't see, and all that work you did might be lost on them. So do it because you want to do it. Don't do it because, well, this is going to hold its value much better. That might happen. That's great if it does. But that shouldn't be the primary reason. The primary reason should be because you want to do it. All right, everybody. Well, happy home renovating if that's a project you've undertaken, hopefully voluntarily, not because of an issue. And tune in next week for another edition of Thursday Thoughts.